here we have a new model, new to me anyway. Well, actually, here we have an interesting variation of a model that I already have. This is the digital TTS Sound version of the Duke of Gloucester. So I purchased the Duke of Gloucester a little while ago. Why buy two? Well, the reason is this has got sound on it and it's budget priced. I bought this from one of my favourite model shops at an exhibition from Going Loco for £130. That's for the sound version. My previous budget sound was the Black 5 from Hornby. Can't remember how much I paid for that. So I'm going to have a listen to this. Now, believe it or not, I've lost the keys to the shed. Not lost them. I've unlocked the garage, put the keys down, can't find them again. So they're not lost. I've just put them down somewhere and can't find them, which means that I can't take the Loco into the shed and put it on the round and round layout to run it in. My other DCC layout is just shunting layout, and all I would be able to do is leave it running with the sound on or shunting backwards and forwards. So out comes the rolling road. One of my other purchases is the ESU chip testing circuit. That's again the second one, because there's my first one, and I damaged this one. That the very way I damaged it, I know what I've done to damage it, is that the inputs here were through two little tubular sockets, and I was able to push wires into those tubular sockets and short against those diodes there. On this one, I note that those tubes are not present. So maybe the manufacturers have realised that there's some issue with that. It does include an extra couple of features, and so you know, you get something for it, and it's such that the cost of repairing the other one will be greater than the cost of the new one. But I'm not testing any tubes just yet. I've got some to test. What I will be doing then is connecting my DCC controller to the rolling road to try out this model. One of the first things I'm looking at is to see if there are any differences between the train pack version, special edition Duke of Gloucester with coaches, and this DCC Sound. Now, looking at the lining, which is usually where economies are made, the lining looks just the same. The detail that's been added looks very similar. The first thing to note is that the tender is permanently connected, and there's a wire connection between tender and Loco. Right, so it's the same basic model. I've had a look around it, and there's no difference between them. We're looking at these two under well, LED and I won't call it incandescent, it's a fluorescent compact filament light, and I'm not sure about the white balance on this video camera. The other little difference is that we do get a manual with it, which is about this new Hornby digital sound chip. So I'll have a quick browse of that, which should tell me a little bit about this new chip. It's what you expect. The sound functions, the CVs, what all the function values will allow you to do, and it looks as though it's a fairly sophisticated chip. Because if we can focus on there without getting lots of funny effects on the camera, what you can can see is that it's got long whistle, coupler clink, short whistle, injector, wheel slip, coal shoveling, blow down, safety valve, coal pusher, cylinder cock, brake, blower, guard's whistle, slam doors, fireman's breakfast, toggle sound mode between chuffing and coasting, auxiliary right lighting, standard decoder function if aux lights are fitted. So background steam exhaust, coasting on off. It looks as though there's a fairly sophisticated rather than a very simple set of sound functions provided with this budget decoder, including front and rear and auxiliary lights. We see that lighting control, the TTS decoder fitted to your locomotive supports lighting control as standard. They're only available if lighting is fitted to the locomotive. So front and rear lights, F0, and auxiliary function output activated by F18 for auxiliary lights. A range of CV values which can be set. I can zoom out now because that's just a standard range of CV values. And volume settings. So there's a mixer section that could be useful. Again, probably better if I took a still photo of that, but I can read it. So you can individually, for the Duke of Gloucester, set the volumes for each of those sound in a range from 0 to 8 on each separate sound that I've just been through. So I've had a little play. This is what I found out just in the first few minutes. Of course, there it is from my DCC controller. The chip is programmed with quite a bit of inertia, so when you set it going and let's have a look. Loco 3, select controller 3, speeds it up a little. We've got it, and function 1. I found that I couldn't really get it the sounds to work properly with my select controller, so I've had to put the elite one on here. And if I do function 1, select it, then we get the sound. I'm going to turn function 1 off to try one or two of the other ones, because function 1 off. Right, and long whistle function 2. Got a whistle. Let's have a look at something. Let's just try the coal shoveling, because that's an interesting. There's a coal puddle. F function 7. So we can do function 7. I can play that one, and it continues to loop until we choose to take it off. So we've got those. But now I just want to focus on the controller, because we've got to hold on the function. So I'll go function 7, turn that off. Right, now I can do function 8, that's alright, on, lower down, function 8, off. I can do function 9, I can do function 10, except I can't do function 10. I can do function and then twist this to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it goes back to 0. And as you will see on here, the functions go up to 18. And on the controller, somebody's going to tell me I need to update the firmware on the controller. But certainly it's not possible to select the functions by entering double digits. It appeared as though you might be able to do that on the select, but certainly on the Elite I can't do function 1, 1. Oh, I can get 11. Let's do function 1, 2. I do 12. Function 1, 3. Function 1, 3. No. So I can only go up to function 12. Function 1, 0. Yes, I can do function 10. But it will only do up to function 12 and then it resets. So it won't do, for instance, the blower, the guard's whistles, the slam doors, the fireman's breakfast, etc. But the sounds work. They're quite loud. Well, the sound's loud here. I'm sure you can have fun playing with the sound, so it certainly appears to work as well as any other sound chip. I'm sure it will benefit from one of those larger speakers that people are selling. I'll just speed it up and show the inertia as, okay, Loco 3, no, Loco 3. It's doing functions. I'm trying to set the Loco. Controller 2. So see, it speeds up. If I change its direction, you'll see that the inertia makes it slow down. Function 1. Off. Now, that's something. I'll turn it down to stop. You can hear it chuffing. You can also hear, I think that's the injector or the blowdown that I've turned on. And to stop it, so that stops the chuffing sound, more or less. Let's turn it to stop. But I don't know which function is turned on. So I am now struggling to turn off that noise. Is it safety valve? Is it injector? Function 5 is the injector. Function 5. Press. No, that's injector. Function 5. Off. Okay, let's try blowdown. Function 8. Function 8. Off. Is that it? So, with the controller, it's difficult to identify which of your various loop until disabled sounds, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this one, not just pressed once, are enabled. So if you had them all turned on, I think it would be very difficult to identify which ones are turned on and how to turn them off, which is most annoying. And when I was selecting Loco, controller to address, let's cancel that, escape. It wasn't doing that. I had function set and I wasn't able to set the controller to the Loco. I'm going to have to stop that. Okay, you may not have heard anything I said. One of the problems I had, I enabled one of the loop until disabled sounds. I wasn't sure which one it was, and the controller doesn't tell you which one you have turned on. So it will loop until you identify which one it is and turn it off. And just finally for this little clip, I have checked there are no pickups on the tender. The wires to the tender are entirely to connect to the sound chip. So the pickups are purely from the Roco driven wheels, as on the non-sound model. Whether that will present any problems or not, but they're not making use of the potential to pick up current from the tender wheels as well as the Roco wheels with the wire connected through. However, this is the first of what I think will be an interesting series of sound models with quite a rich functionality in terms of sound, using this new budget priced DCC chip, so that they're able to bring in, when discounted by some good retailers, sound locos at an affordable price.